Hello again, guys. Welcome to the channel. I'm Grumpy Panda, and we are about to get into some Resident Evil. Yes, I've said it. Resident Evils finally came to Dead by Daylight. I did not see this coming when it was first announced, and still I feels kind of surreal a little bit because it's just something I did not expect. It's a game and franchise that's been out for, you know, years, since like 1996. And so it's got a long history, and it's got, you know, recently just came out with Resident Evil 8 Village, and so there's a lot of things that are happening. So there's cross promotions happening, there's a lot of marketing going down too. So this is good for everyone that's involved, including the fans, most of all. And if you guys haven't heard, Nemesis from Resident Evil 3 has came to DVD as the killer, and the survivors, I say yes, survivors plural because there's two of them, Jill Valentine and Leon Kennedy has made their way to the fog as well. So those are the characters that's coming over from the franchise of Resident Evil, and I didn't like the fact that they brought two. I know this is going to sound weird. I didn't like the fact that they brought two characters over. I wanted one survivor to be brought over because I felt like it would bring more, not necessarily more value, but it would be more appreciated. You know, when you bring more things of something, then I feel like it gets watered down slightly. So I like the idea of just bringing one survivor over, especially since since it's Nemesis, it should have been Jill. It shouldn't have been Leon, and I'm a big fan of Leon. I like Leon more than Chris Redfield, that is. And so, yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's go straight to the killer, the big boy, Big Daddy. We'll call him Big Daddy. Oh, yeah. He is obviously the form of Resident Evil 3 remake. He's not from the original as far as his attire and appearance. Let's go right into his level 3s. If we can. Okay, he's a 4.6 killer, and he's going to be tall, obviously. Tell you what, let's go to his power first. Yes. His backstory is not here though for some reason, but this is the PTB, so I'm sure I kind of want to see how they introduce him to the fog. You know, we know his backstory in Resident Evil, but what's his backstory to be introduced to the fog? Possibly it's probably going to be something very simple. T-virus is his power. Excuse me. A virus that causes extreme mutations and can be transferred to others. Its effects heighten aggression and strength within the Nemesis. Special attack, Tentacle Strike. He does have a special attack. Press, we already know what that is from the game. Press and hold the power button to charge an attack. Once charged, tap the attack button to unleash Tentacle Strike. Hitting a survivor with the Tentacle Strike afflicts them with the contaminated status effect and increase your mutation rate. If a survivor is already contaminated, Tentacle Strike damages their health. Okay, so they're going, remember when Jill got poisoned by the tentacle in Resident Evil 3, Carlos had to go get the vaccine and heal her. So this is kind of going back to that. Survivors, we can cure contamination by using a vaccine found in supply cases on themselves and other survivors. The amount of vaccines is limited. After using a vaccine, the survivor's location will be revealed by the killer instinct. Okay, so they're changing a lot of stuff up in the game. I know of one thing they're changing with Leon's perk. We'll get to that in a second. But they're also changing that survivors will carry the supply cases, or they'll be found around the map maybe by using a found on themselves and other survivors. So I guess they're going to be holding on to them, not being like found on the map necessarily, but on the survivors. And after using the vaccine, survivors' locations will be revealed to them. Okay, mutation rate. In this chapter so far, they have made a lot of changes. They are taking big risks. I say risk because it could be a very bad decision, changing the flow of the game, changing the way things have been done in the past. It could be a great thing. It could be a bad thing. We just have to wait and see. But you know, sometimes risks have to be taken, you know, because in this, I'll make a a total conclusion at the end of this, but you know, if they didn't change it, if they kept the same format as before with the characters being brought into this chapter, it may not have fit the same mold. You see what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, bringing Nemesis into the game, allowing him to do some of the things that he's going to be able to do with the new setup. He may not have even fitted in the game. You have to make, you know, room for killers and their abilities, and if that means making changes to make them fit in the game, that's what you have to do, and that's what they've done here. So hope I explained that pretty good. Your power expands as your mutation rate grows. A mutation rate 2 tentacle strike can destroy pallets and breakable walls. Mutation rate 3 tentacle strikes range increases. The T-virus icon displays the current level, okay, of mutation rate. So I'm not a fan of this. I'm kind of getting tired of levels. Well, who all has levels in the game besides Myers? I guess no one really does, do they? Okay, maybe I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't be saying I'm tired of levels and tiers. Someone else has got a tier that they can. I can't think of him right now, but so he's going to have a mutation rate where he can go from 1, 2, and 3, and each time he can change his. He can change his ability, like not necessarily change, but he gains an ability. He doesn't. I don't think it changes as much as it adds to. So I don't think he like it. So if he has a power at level 1, it doesn't like change it. Like he doesn't lose it. You know what I mean? I think he just gains more things he can do. See, on level 3, he can his range increases. In level 2, he can destroy pallets and breakable walls. But he can still break walls and pallets, but he won't be able to do it until he's level 2, which means, so think of it like this: if Demogorgon or Leatherface wanted to break a pallet, they would have to go to level 2 in order to use their chainsaw. They can still break the pallets and walls, but they wouldn't be able to do it faster with their chainsaw. Same thing with this. He's still going to be able to do it without being at level 1 or level 2, but he'll be able to do it faster at level 2 once he gets there. Same thing here. It's his special attack. He'll be able to use it for other things as well. Special enemies, zombies. Now this is something I called, and I didn't know if, you know, I thought they might bring a scientist into the game like William Birkin and him be able to control or have the AI zombies, you know, go around the map and just go looking for people and block people and get in their way. I kind of called this, and I'm so happy that they brought this into the game. I'm really interested to see how this works. When a zombie attacks a survivor, they inflict him with a contaminated effect. If the survivor is already contaminated, their health will be damaged. Zombies can be destroyed by the tentacle strike to increase your mutation rate. Okay, is that the only way to do it though? And survivors can destroy them with pallets. Destroyed zombies respawn after a short time. Sounds like that's the only way you can get your mutation rate leveled up. As far as I can see, that's it. He's a 4.6 killer, as he should be, because he's fast in the game. He actually runs at times. I wish they did something with his rocket launcher. That would be awesome. I don't think they gave him a rocket launcher though. Let's check out his perks. You've been designed to track down and eliminate targets. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 5 seconds. Hold on. There's a way to look at this at level 3, and that's what I want to do. How do you do it? Do it. There's a way to do it. I know there is. How do you... I could have swore there's a way to look at it. Well, that's it. Yes. Good call. Good call. Go to killer matches. I want to see the values of level 3, because that's where we're going to get them at. So you go to custom games here and go straight to it, and you can see what you're working with. Now you have to go over here and look at the name, Lethal Pursuer. As long as I know my ABCs, I can get there. There's another one, eruption. That's the next one, isn't it? There's Nemesis. That's actually funny. There it is. You've been designed to track down and eliminate targets. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are 7 seconds. 5, 6, and 7. 7 seconds, to me, it's going to be something not used. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not going to be used at all. It'll be tested, but it will not be used. It's just not worth it. You'll be down to 3 perks in no time. You know what I mean? What's the next one? Hysteria. I love the artwork for that. That looks gruesome, doesn't it? You know how to brutalize one member of the team to cause a panic. Whenever you put a healthy survivor in an injured state with a basic attack, all injured survivors suffer from the oblivious status effect for 30 seconds. You can only trigger this one time every 60 seconds. I don't care for it that much. It's not really... I'm trying to think in terms of synergy with other perks. What could you use it with? I don't know. I can't really... 30 seconds isn't very long, number one. Number two, the cooldown's pretty long, 60 seconds. Number three, you have to use a basic attack. So that cuts it down even further. So it goes back to, you can use it with Surge, I guess, if you wanted to. No, I take that back. You have to put number 4 or 3, you have to put a healthy survivor into a injured state. You cannot down them. So if they're already injured and you down them, it doesn't count. There's another perk that I was playing with the other day that did something like that. You have to have them healthy in order for it to activate. I forgot what it was though. Because I was trying some new builds the other night and it was something like that. Okay, last one is eruption. I'm not a fan of the perk. There's too many obstacles. You have to have a lot of criterias to get to it to activate, and when it does activate, it's not worth the reward's not very big. 30 seconds is not long, and 60 seconds is too long for the cooldown. Okay, just my opinion there. Sexual eruption. I'm sorry, Snoop Dogg comes to mind when I hear eruption. Sorry. Nia's in the game, guys. Nia is a killer. She's a parasite. It shows right here, Nia. I'm not even making this up. A Nia parasite provides you with it. See, she's a parasite. She's pretending to be a survivor, but she's really a killer. Provides you with the intelligence and awareness needed. Do you think they did that on purpose? Like, why did they put that there? Or is that from Resident Evil? And I'm just missing it completely. Okay, and needed awareness is needed to set a trap. After kicking a generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. When you put a survivor in the dying state with a basic attack, again, with a basic attack, why do they keep doing that? Why can't it? They need to make perks like this able to use basic attacks or special attacks. They need to, you know, increase the ability to use your special attacks. That's one thing I want them to do going forward with perks, is allow special attacks to be used to activate perks. Every affected generator explodes with eruption, regressing their progress by 6% and causing auras to disappear. Any survivor repairing a generator when it explodes will scream, suffer from incapacitated status effect for 14 seconds. What does the incapacitated status effect mean? And it has a cooldown of 90 seconds. Is that a new status effect? It sounds like it. Incapacitated means... Okay, I think it means impairs the survivor ability to interact with certain props. Okay, when you're incapacitated, it means you cannot repair generators, sabotage hooks, use items, interact with other survivors, or cleanse totems. Incapacitated. Gotcha. And I think it's new. I haven't seen it before. So maybe that's not new. I don't know. But that's a really good status effect though, because that means you can't unhook survivors, you can't save them, which means the same thing. You can't heal them, you can't do anything. So, do I think it's a good perk? It's his best perk, but is it, you know, 14 seconds and 6%? It's not, I mean, to me, that's not a big deal. After kicking... Okay, hold on. Let me read it again. So when you kick a generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. When you put a dying survivor in a dying state with a basic attack, every affected generator explodes. So it's kind of like the reverse pop goes the weasel. See, with pop, you got to hook somebody first, then you got to kick a generator. This time you're doing reverse actions. You're kicking a generator and then downing somebody. You don't have to hook them, but you'd have to down them, you know? So it's reverse. It's like a reverse surge or a reverse pop goes a weasel. Actually, surge is more, it's more like surge, except for you get to pop it. You got to do the work ahead of time. Except for surge, you just down somebody. But the downside to it is you have to be near a generator within 32 meters. This one you can go anywhere. But you have to take the time to kick the generator. And if they do it and complete the generator before you get done downing somebody, then it doesn't do anything, I'm sure. It has to, you know what I mean? So you're taking that risk. I think 90 seconds is... I don't know if that's too long or not. It sounds like it's a little bit too long. I think if they're going to keep it at 90 seconds, they need to go to like 9%. In my opinion, 8% at the, 8% is like surge. I think that'd be fine. But you do have to remember you get a secondary effect with the incapacitated. So if anybody's on it, they scream. Doesn't reveal their, I guess it reveals their, I guess when you scream it doesn't show their aura though. You just hear them is all it is. And I'm sure, I don't know if as a killer, if you'll see like them showing them as incapacitated. As a survivor on your screen in HUD, it will show you incapacitated and it'll let you know that you can't do anything. Okay, let's move it on to the survivors. Nemesis, we have to see how his ability and powers are used in the game. That's what it comes down to when it comes to any killer. So I'm not very big on his perks. So we'll just have to see, you know, with how he plays in the game. We checked out Nemesis. Let's check out the survivors. Tell you what, let's just go straight into kill your friends. Leon Kennedy, Jill Valentine. Jill Valentine is a founding member of STARS who has triumphed over countless bioorganic weapons. Her personal perks, Counterforce, Resurgence, Last Mine, allow her to indirectly fight back while offering strong support to her teammates. See, here's the thing. I think I love Jill, but I think Leon's gonna be like my new go-to guy character besides Ash. I love Ash though, so I'll have probably 3. But Jill, I love Jill, man. She's a badass. I kind of wish, you know, they got to bring her other costume in, right? Like they have to bring her old costume with her beret on, not beretta, beret. That's what it's called. I would love to see that costume. And so same thing with Leon from Resident Evil 4 and that sweet ass jacket he's got. They have to bring him into that with that costume. Okay. Perfect. Counterforce. You know how to withstand an enemy stronger than you, and it starts with hunting down and knocking out their support. You cleanse totems 20% faster. After cleansing a totem, you see the aura of further totem from you for 4 seconds. You gain an additional 20% stackable speed bonus to cleanse totems for the remainder of the trial. Wow. That's godlike. Do you think they really... I think they really want to stop hexes, including ruin. Like, you think the devs... I feel like the devs really want to stop people from using hexes. Like, if they're going to do stuff like this, though, why not... Why don't they use Undying? Why don't they bring back Undying the way it used to be? Think about it. Undying's the only thing besides getting people off totems and protecting them yourselves. It's the only way to protect your totems. Really. So why would they keep adding stuff like... I don't mind them adding stuff like Counterforce, but they need to bring Undying back to the way it used to be. Come on. Like, give it a break. Think about it. Resurgence. This is a great artwork. You've come back from near impossible odds and you'll do it again. Gain 50% healing progress instantly after being unhooked or unhooking yourself. That's a good perk. That's solid. It's my turn, bitch. Ooh, I like that. You can talk dirty to me, Jill. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a great perk. Solid as can be. That's very good. You can't use it with Deliverance, though. Or maybe you can, I don't know. That's a good perk. Blast Mine. When direct combat isn't an option, you still find ways to strike back. Blast Mine activates after completing a total of 66% worth of repair progress on generators. So you just have to be basically jump on one generator. So at the beginning of the game, when you see a generator, do a gen. After repairing a generator for at least 3 seconds, press the ability button to install a trap, which stays active for 45 seconds. Affected generators will be revealed to all survivors by a yellow aura. Only one trap can be active on a generator. When the killer damages a trap generator, the trap explodes, stunning them, blinding anyone nearby. Blast Mine is then deactivated. You want stars? I'll give you stars. Okay, this is going to be like a total troll build perk. I can already see it. People are going to troll with this perk. You better believe it. It's going to be a counter to Pop Goes a Weasel. Because people don't... But here's the thing. People don't use Cheryl's perk, which is a great counter to Pop. But people don't use it. This perk right here will be used because it's like doing two things. One, it's fun. Two, it's going to counter a very big perk. And dude, this is bad for killers. You guys understand how bad this is? Because effectively the devs have made it to where you cannot use Ruin anymore. You can't. They've got Small Game. They've got Detective's Hunch. They've got this new perk, Counterforce. They've got many different perks to look for totems and find them. On top of the fact you can just find them on your own without, you know, having the perk. Okay, so you can't use Ruin. You can use maps. I forgot about maps and add-ons. Okay, so Ruin and hexes are out of the question. So what's left? Pop. Pop's the next go-to. Well, guess what? Blast Mine will be used. You better believe it, guys. This is bad for killers. I don't know how long you're going to be stunned for and blinded. It says blind anyone, but I don't know if it'll blind survivors too. It might. The only thing about survivors is it turns yellow, which doesn't necessarily mean... You don't know what it means. It could mean there's a perk for Steve and there's a perk for Executioner that turns it yellow. But the one for Nancy has a perk that does something like that. Might be somebody else. Is it Nancy? It turns it yellow when you stop working on it or something. I don't understand why they make everything turn yellow. No, it's not. It's Steve. I think it's Steve, actually. It just, I mean, like, make it turn a different color, guys. Who is it? I forgot whose perk it is, but it's somebody's, obviously. If I saw it, I'd be like, that's it. I could have swore, is it? Somebody's got a perk like that. I don't know whose it is. Whatever, you guys get the idea. So as soon as you stop working on it, it lets you know that someone's on the generator or was on the generator, so you can go to it and start helping them, is what it does. Okay, what's that? She's got really good perks. Jill does. All right, Leon. Leon S. Kennedy. Once again, I really like this reminds me of like a Yu-Gi-Oh card I seen once. Bite the bullet. Pain hurts as much as anyone, but you prefer others don't know that. You make no noise, including grunts of pain when healing. There is no noise notification on a failed skill check for healing, and healing regresses only by 1%. It depends on how much noise you make. For like, it says no noise, including grunts of pain. Oh, when healing. So when you're walking about, unless I'm reading this wrong, you're still going to make noise. It's only when you're healing that you're not going to make noise. So this perk is not that good. No one misses skill checks on healing, so this perk is a throwaway for sure. Okay, if it gave you some camouflage from walking around and losing, like not being heard, that would be really good. But then again, they wouldn't do that because then Iron Will wouldn't be used. When you make a new perk in the game, you have to make sure not to overlap and overshadow another perk that's already previously in the game, because if you do that, then you're actually doing a disservice to the game, in my opinion. You have to make new perks that are interesting and that are useful to the game. Yeah, it's not a very good perk. Iron Will is way better. Flashbang. You've adapted to the world of chaos, making what you can from the debris. After completing 50% on a progress on any generator, Flashbang activates. Enter a locker while empty-handed and press the ability button to craft a flash grenade. One charge. Detonates with a loud bang and flashing light. Creates a noise notification. Can be used to distract or blind. You leave the flash grenade behind when escaping the trial, so you can't carry it into a new one. So you have to be in a locker to craft it. How long does it take to craft, I wonder? So this is going to be a perk for a locker build. Locker builds are going to be a thing again. I still think that I still think that's another reason why they need to make Iron Maiden better, because they need to counter locker builds. And you have, you know, obviously quick and quiet, inner resistance. You've got, you know, head on, and you've got the new perk from Elodie, deception. You know, deception's used a lot. You have to be able to counter it, and Iron Maiden needs to be buffed still, in my opinion. I would like to see it buffed. Rookie Spirit. You keep a careful eye on objects when slipping away. Complete 3 good or great skill checks. So, skill checks in general. While repairing generators to activate Rookie Spirit for the remainder of the trial. Once active, you can see the auras of regressing generators. Oh my god. That's godlike. Do you realize how easy this is? Like, that's going to be so good against oppression. That's going to be good against pop. That's going to be good against ruin. That's going to be good against anything. That's a good perk. Man, killers are in trouble. I'm telling y'all right now. Killers are in trouble right now. It's not looking good. Because it just takes like one person to run this. And that person can legit change the course of the game by just touching the generator for a second. You know, just to stop the regression. It's like the survivor's ability to detect for surveillance. It's like their surveillance, essentially. So I'm not surprised that they have this, but I'm just saying it's really good. It's more, to me, this is, I don't know what's more important, surveillance to the killers or rookie spirit to the survivors. I would say and venture to say that rookie spirit is more valuable to survivors than surveillance is to killers. But I mean, surveillance does synergize with ruin, so that's why it works so well. If it didn't synergize with ruin, it wouldn't be as good. We'll have to see though. That's really good stuff though. Look at, he looks really good. Like his costume. Attire. All right. We okay, so we reviewed the 3 characters from the DVD Resident Evil chapter. As of right now, guys, we're gonna go ahead and just end the review right here. We're gonna go ahead and level up some characters and try to get into some games as fast as possible. As far as what I've seen here and what I've reviewed here today, I think that Survivors definitely got the better end of the stick on this one when it comes to the chapter. It all depends on what the AI will do for the zombies and how Nemesis plays with his power and ability. That's going to be like the what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be like the leveling factor, essentially the X factor. So if he can do like, it's just all about potential really. So if he can do what he needs to with his ability and power and zombies, he is going to trump everything when it comes to the perks. However, you know, Nemesis is always going to be the killer that the survivors face. It's just for this chapter, obviously. And so the perks will continue to be carried over into other games, obviously. Nemesis perks are terrible, so they're not going to be used with other killers, even the ones that synergize with other killers of powers and abilities. So that's just, even if they buff them, they're not that good. I'm just got to be honest with you guys. And so I just don't see nobody using them. But the perks for the survivors in this chapter, they can be used with other survivors, or which, you know, they're all the same, but they're going to be used with other survivors for sure. And they're going to be used going forward and being synergized with Survive with Friends and just being a complete, they're going to be wreaking havoc on killers. I really do feel like killers are in a long, they're going to be in trouble. And we'll just have to see how it plays out and how it balances out in the future. So tell me guys what you guys think in the comments down below. I do believe survivors edge out the killers. That they got the better end of the stick on this chapter. But again, this is the public test build. It's not the end of it just yet. They could make changes, nerfs and buffs before the chapter is released to the live version. So it's not necessarily over, but they have to go over the data. They have to go over, you know, basically what the data says within the PTB games. So I hope they make some changes, but I really want to see how Nemesis plays. So we're going to do that right now and level him up and get into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I do appreciate it. It does support me. And I will see you guys in the fog and out in some games. Until next time, guys, I'm Grumpy Panda, signing off. Take care, guys.